going on YouTube? We back again. It's your boy Rich Wayne. In this video, I want to talk about how you can use my strategy to start a trucking company and make money. And if you know, I always talk about my strategy, how you can pay me for my strategy, or you could just learn business credit yourself and implement this same strategy. But you can start a trucking company and you can make anywhere between, I don't know, I was making 20,000 a week at my peak. When I mean 20,000 a week, that was in sales. I probably gross profit around 4K a week. That was still good for me because I didn't have to drive a truck, and I still made 4,000 to 5,000 every week unless something just went bad. But like I always talk about, you can get an Age Corporation. That's something simple. You can get it from a website. You can buy it from me. You can buy it from wherever you want, or you can just have a corporation and just sit for 3 years, or if you know somebody. But anyways, it's easy to do it with an Age Corporation. So when you get an Age Corporation and then you implement my strategy, which you can either pay me for, or yourself, or whatever, but your business credit is going to be at a certain standpoint, or at a certain position where you can go to places like, that's a company called Ryder. And I chose Ryder because they do like unlimited credit line when you're dealing with them. So you can get $1 million worth of equipment from them under Age Corporation. I had that, and I can show you proof. That's why I always say pay me for my strategy. These things I can show you, and I can show you the proof. Take my time, I can show you. But basically, I was able to get an unlimited line of credit with Ryder. And I was able to get trucks and trailers. And because my business credit was very good, I was able to get my own fuel card through WEX. So that's something you want to do. So basically, get your business credit very good to the point where you can get approved for Ryder. And Ryder usually put your D&B credit report, but it really go off your financials and your tax return. That's why I tell people to pay me for my strategy, because I show you how to get that legally without spending too much money. And you can have these documents to get approved for stuff like trucks or just commercial vehicles that you can put on the road and make money. But I like the Ryder because they got mechanic shops all around the world. And I did reefer. When you do reefer, that was specialized trucking. So it's like refrigerated food. So if something break down, you got to load 40,000 worth of ice cream, and your trailer break down, and you got the used trailer, and you can't get to a mechanic shop, you have to take a hit on your insurance. So by me doing that, I evaluated my risk. That's what made me get Ryder. It was expensive, but I thought about my time and the risk I was taking, because I also had a regular reefer trailer that broke down. Thank God it wasn't no ice cream and nothing in it. It was just some potatoes that I didn't even have to use my refrigerator for, but it just showed me the problems that can happen. So that's why I say Ryder is a good tool. Even if you buy your own trucks, I wouldn't lease the trucks from Ryder, because when I did that it was too expensive, but I'll just get unlimited trailers from them, because they got mechanic shops around the world. So if anything go wrong with your trailer, they can just swap your trailer out, and you can get it cross-loaded and put it on a new trailer and continue on with your day. Because everybody knows trucking is time. Because if you lose 2-3 days, you lost a lot of money. So don't be cheap and you fuck around and lose time. Because I had raggedy trucks and trailers trying to make 10,000 a week on a raggedy truck and trailer. And sometimes it worked, but I lost more money when my truck was in a shop because it was raggedy. Yeah, I'm gonna tell that. And to y'all first-time truck buyers, do not go get a used truck and put it directly on the road chasing money and try to get money right away. Through my experience, that's no. You want to get a nice truck. If you're gonna get a used truck, I will go through Snyder, and I will get mechanical history on that truck, because when you get a mechanical history, you can see what's been wrong with that truck and how much money you got to put into it. So I would do that. I would go through Snyder, get a used truck, and get the mechanical history on that truck. As soon as I get that truck from Snyder, I will put it straight into the mechanic shop. Because it's used, you don't know how long it's been sitting, when the last time it drove, so you want to get it together. So put about 5 to 10K in that truck so it can guarantee hit the road and get some loads. Then I will also use my Age Corporation to get a fuel card through WEX. And WEX is a good fuel card because there's a cheap percentage and they actually factor your bills. And if you don't have a large bankroll, sometimes you gotta do loads and get paid right away to pay your drivers or to pay yourself, whatever expenses you got, and you need a factoring company. I would rather keep my factoring company and my fuel company at the same place, because it's easier, because your fuel bill is gonna be one of your biggest bills, so that's gonna be a bill you pay every week. So why not just get your fuel and your factoring with the same company? It made things a lot easier for me, so I could just focus on growing the business. Because when you get into trucking, it's customers everywhere. That's one thing good about trucking. It's easy to build up to 2 million, $1 million a year because there's customers everywhere. You can go get on Internet Truck Stop or truckstop.com, whatever load board, you're going to see loads every fucking where. So that ain't an issue. The hardest thing is putting together a system where you're going to guarantee serve your customers and serve your drivers to make money. Because the most important thing is the drivers and customers. Because anybody can build credit up, or any rich person can buy a whole bunch of trucks and trailers. But can you put together a system where you serve your customers and you serve your drivers? That's important, because the driver can easily leave your company and go get his own truck, whether it's credit good or bad, and work for itself and do bad. So you want to put your drivers in a position where it's going to be hard for them to leave you, because you helping them take care of their family and they doing very well. And how I did it is I had 2 company drivers because they didn't want to get their own truck. So when they worked for me, I just made sure they made $100 grand a year. I was able to put together a system where I can make money and them make $100 grand a year. So they made $100 a year on driving the truck. I made $100 grand a year on owning the truck. And I had 2 drivers that way. So that was $200K a year, just establishing the right partnership. And me, I was honest with them. I got a lawyer, of course, but I didn't have a lawyer. I had a partner that screwed me over, so I ain't gonna talk about that. Always get a trucking lawyer, not a criminal lawyer, not a fucking real estate lawyer. Get a trucker lawyer, because they're gonna help you save some mistakes. That expense. Just like paying me, I had you to help you save you from mistakes. You can get a trucker lawyer. That'll do the same thing, save you from mistakes. But by me getting a trucker lawyer, it was easy for me to establish getting drivers. And I didn't call them employees, because me, I was new to the business. I wasn't a master trucker. So I called myself getting partners, because I didn't know the business as much as they knew driving. So I told them, I was honest with them, like, I ain't great at this business, but I'm a hard worker. If you come work with me, I'll put you in a position where we can make money. By them knowing the business and me being honest with them, it made them come over there with the right respect for me, because I was younger than most of these guys. It's hard to get an older guy to work for you or work with you when they knowing that you putting up most of the bacon, whatever you want to call it. Because you know how men as we do, we got our pride thing. I ain't mad at nobody for that. But that's how I was able to establish my first $200,000 making with a trucking company. I had 2 partners. I know everybody wanted to be the boss and call everybody employees. I'm cool on that. When you become a boss and you really have people depend on you to feed their family, that's a role you better be ready to take on. Because motherfuckers will be mad at you when you talk about you ain't got no customers, and you ain't got no work to pay them, and they got kids to feed, or you fucked up the bills and didn't pay the bills right, you can't pay them this week. So you gotta be careful with that. So that's why I always told people, if you work hard, I work hard, we're gonna make money. And that's how I built my first 2 drivers, partners, whatever you wanna call it. And that's how I was making $200K. But we was grossing $500,000 with 2 trucks. So by me grossing $500,000 under my company and having good credit, you know that opened up doors for me. So that opened up doors for me. That's how I really actually got the right release. Because at first, I came in the game where I bought trucks from Snyder, like I just told you. But I was able to buy trucks because I built my Age Corporation up. I had a $100K line of credit. So I was able to go to Snyder, give them $40,000 for 2 trucks, put them in the mechanic shop, and get them together before they hit the road. It was times when I first started my truck coming out and do that, I fucked up. I don't want to talk about how I fucked up. Talk about how I do it right now. So basically, you want to get your mechanic, you want to get you a line of credit and cash out on your trucks. It's way easier. And then you put them in the shop, make sure they right, hire you 2 drivers, don't grow too fast, because when I grow too fast, that's another thing I'm mistake. When I have 5 drivers making too much money too quick, didn't know what to do with it. So just get 2 drivers. And you get to make it, like I said, that's going to be anywhere between a bad week, 8K, a good week, 12 to 14K, and gross sales after paying your drivers, fuel, you'll be able to walk away. I know I was walking away with 2 trucks, $4,000 a week, literally, and doing like literally fucking 10K, and I was only doing like 10 to 12K in sales. That's when I got good at it. And then I eventually added 2 more owner-operators. Well, basically, they had their own trucks. And they drove under my company because I had the insurance, I had the fuel card, I had the factor, I had my credit card, I had my shit together. So I was able to partner with 2 other people. A guy that had, it was a guy, he had his own truck, and then he had a partner driving on the truck. So he brought 2 trucks under my company. So that's how I got to making $20,000 a week sales. And off his trucks, since he owned them, I only made an extra $1,000 a week on each truck. So that's why I say I only made $4,000 to $6,000 or sometimes $5,000 a week in trucking. Because I had 4 trucks. each truck gross 5,000 a week, so that's 20,000 a week. So you do the 20,000 a week, 8,000 a month, times 12, that's 960K a year. So that's basically $1 million a year. So that's how I was able to use Age Corporation, business credit, and start a trucking company and make that type of money. Like if I recap what I said, I basically said, get your business credit right, whether you go through me, take my course or not, it don't even matter. Just get your business credit right to get in a position to get $100,000 line of credit. So you can go buy a couple of trucks and make sure they're on the road. And when you get the trucks, like I said, the hardest part is really hiring the drivers. And you better off hiring drivers, I'm gonna walk you through it. This is the best way to do it. If you're hiring a driver, they want somebody that they can trust and they can respect, not somebody that's just a worker to them. So when you put your ad out on Indeed, well, I would do Facebook because everybody on Facebook. I run an ad basically explaining how you can make $100K a year and be home or spend time with your family. And that's going to draw drivers to come to you. Your Facebook ad is going to draw drivers to come to you. But then when you get to that interview, you got to basically sell to them that you got a good company, you care about them, and you understand the trucking business. But don't do this if you don't know the trucking business. If you don't know the trucking business, you gotta target people differently. You gotta target people where you're looking for a partner because you have credit and you're in position to go cash a truck or use your credit to acquire a truck, but you don't know the business, so you're looking for a partner that you're gonna do a split with after all the expenses is paid. That's how you would target your ad on Facebook, so you can acquire a driver to work for you or partner with you, because you don't know the business, so you can't guarantee nobody they're gonna make no money. So you want to attract somebody who do know the business. Just because you built your business credit right and you got all your stuff together, now you need to attract a partner. So that's how I would do it. I would get on Facebook, I would run an ad, and I will do an ad basically trying to attract a partner to help make me to make $250,000 a year, anywhere between $250,000 to $1 million. I'm hungry, so my ad would say, you want to make $500,000 to $1 million a year, let's work. We can partner together because I'm hungry. So once I make $250,000 off one truck, I'm going to do it again and make $500,000. Then I'm going to do it again and keep on doing it. That's just me. I don't know about y'all, but that's the strategy you take. Get your business credit right. Work with Schneider. Schneider, they got a whole bunch of trucks that they got to resell, and they're $1 billion company. Why not buy a truck from a billionaire? Because a billionaire already rich, he's not trying to get over it. You go buy a truck from your cousin or this motherfucker on Craigslist, watch what happens. I've done that before. I'm talking about my losses though. So go to Schneider, which is a billionaire, and then your first company you can do loads with is called TQL. That's Ken Oaks. He's the richest guy in Ohio. I'm in Michigan, he's the richest guy in Ohio. It feels good to be able to do business with him. And I made a whole $1 million with him. It's crazy. I still owe him $50,000. We'll talk about that in another video. He's so rich, he don't even call me about it. But you can partner with him by getting one truck from Schneider, another billionaire, and then Ken Oaks from TQL, he will basically help keep your truck on the road for a decent amount of money. Then there's other people like Warren Buffett own a company called BNSF Railway. I made a deal with him too. So, because I know they own these companies and I was able to provide their companies with equipment and drivers, that's how I made my money. So it made me feel good to be able to partner with billionaires and make $1 million myself. So I just didn't like the transportation industry, so I ended up selling my company, getting out. But if you want to get in, it's best to get in when you have good credit. So spend 6 to 9 months building out your business credit. You can pay me to help you get there faster, or you can just do it, or if you're smart, just do it yourself. But then go to Schneider, that's a $1 billion company, like I said. Look through the mechanical history. They ain't gonna get over on you, but you still want to make sure they don't get over on you. Take a mechanic with you. He'll tell you which truck to buy the best. And then you, like I said, you can partner with Ken Oaks. That's how you do your loads through TQL. But you have to get your DOT number, your insurance, and you DOT number, your insurance, and your plate, stuff like that. But how I did that, I hired a company that knew how to do that. It was a company called Financial Integrity Group. Or it's another company called OOIDA that you can use. There's multiple companies you can go on. You can Google, help me start a trucking company. And if you're smart, they'll tell you the things you need to do to get in position, like your license, your insurance, your DOT, all that good stuff, so you can legally operate and do business with TQL, Ken Oaks, and do business with WEX, and do business with Internet Truck Stops where you get all your loads at. But them the things you need to do to get in place to start the trucking company. I'm probably gonna do a follow-up video on this after I watch it and see what I missed. But them just the steps to get in the trucking and start making money. So I appreciate y'all for watching my YouTube video. Go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're gonna keep this channel going. I'm gonna keep on learning more stuff and giving y'all good information. I appreciate y'all.